I'm at a place called Busselton Jetty, which is down the southwest of WA. This place has been on my bucket list for a long time. And last night I got down here for sunset and it was raining. I woke up early, I thought, well, I'm just going to come out and shoot sunrise. The rain has stopped, the sky's clear. One way or another I'm going to get a shot of this thing. 6:01 a.m, sunrise is in about 15 minutes. I've probably got down here a little bit late, but I didn't set my alarm and I woke up and thought I'll get up, so I'm down here anyway. But if you want to see what puts a smile on Ben's face, let's turn around there. Look at the size of that jetty. So, what I'm doing today, hardly any cloud in the sky. There is a bit behind the jetty, which is a real bonus for us, is I'm going to find a spot where I can set up and I can shoot again onto the jetty with the sun hitting the jetty and lighting it up. And I'm probably just about in that location now. So the sun will hit those buildings, light up the side of the jetty, or that white railing will light up. With a bit of luck, the sun will throw some colour on the clouds that are behind the jetty and I'll get a pretty amazing shot. I think I'll just set up here somewhere. I think this composition will work. All right, let's get set up. Let's do it. Let's do busso. That's what they call it, the locals, busso. Let's do busso. Let's do Busselton Jetty. I hope you can see the sunrise starting to come up over there. Already starting to get some nice colour on the back of these sheds. So I better stop mucking around. Let's get it happening. So as I start setting up, I have to think about a few things. I have to think about exactly what my composition is going to be. I'm thinking about what lens I'm going to use. Really, it's very wide, so I've got two choices. I can use my ultra wide angle lens. I could also use my tilt shift lens and do a pano, which I think I'll try. I might have to be a bit closer to the jetty because it's so long. I don't know that I'll get it all in using that. A bit raspy this morning. Had a good night out last night with our friends. So I think I'll start with what's on the camera, which is the 14 to 24. So we'll kick off with that. That is actually a pretty good image right there. I don't mind that. I'm going to go to autofocus and focus on those jetty buildings there and put my virtual horizon on the back and just line it up like so. So it's nice and straight. Lock everything off on the tripod. You know what, I've wanted to shoot this jetty forever. I'll tell you what, I'm excited. Excuse me if I get a little bit too excited this morning. All right, I'm going to just put my remote on and I'm going to take a test shot. I'm at f9, ISO 64, just doing 1/16 of a second, so pretty quick. I'd like a longer exposure than that because I want the waves to crash a little bit, so I'll put some filters on just to slow down the shutter speed. The other thing is I can imagine that as the sun comes up, I'm probably going to need to tame the sky down a little bit, put the filter holder on, and we've got that happening. So if you want to sort of test a shot at a longer shutter speed, I usually just wind the aperture up on aperture priority mode. I've got to f13, it's given me a second, so I'll take that as a test shot. I think I'd like it longer than that actually. I'll go to f18, that'll give me 2 seconds. It's just a good way to, you know, I'm just taking test shots at the moment. I'm not worried about anything else except for making sure I get a photo, I can get in, zoom in, check it out. This is one of the things that I talk about all the time in composition. I can see the seaweed right here. I don't know if you can see that in your shot, but this seaweed is right in the middle of my shot and it's distracting. So it's no longer a distraction. Sometimes that's what you got to do. And I say be okay with doing that. Don't have to worry about photoshopping it out now, do I? Do I? Pretty simple. All right. Sunrise is in 4 minutes. Doesn't look like it's going to be very good, but I'm here. I'm at Busso Jetty. Let's just wait for the sun to come up and see what happens, and we'll go from there. We'll play. What I'll do is, once I get the first couple of shots with this wide angle lens, I'll switch to the tilt shift to get some panos. I might move a bit closer. We'll move around a bit, we'll get some shots. Let's see what we can do this morning. So I want to settle down the light a little bit so I can get a longer exposure, and there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can get like I think a Lee little stopper. You could use your Lee big stopper, of course. But I have a little trick that I'm going to share with you. And this is where it pays to have a couple of different soft grads. So this is a 0.6 soft grad. I'm going to put it in upside down. So you can see the grads on the bottom. I'm going to put it in upside down. So that's the bottom half. Then what I do is I get a 9.9 soft grad and I put it in the right way up in front of the other one. And what that does is it gives me a 0.3 grad difference from top to bottom, but it reduces my light coming into the lens. Now, I'm at f11 right now and it's made at 1 second. I'll just take that filter off for a second so I can tell you what it is without it. So this has doubled my shutter speed, just doing this for 1 second. And 1 second gives me a little bit more, water blur. And I've effectively got a 0.3 grad now. So if you don't have a 0.3 grad, but you have a 0.6 and a 0.9, this is how you achieve it. Now you're going to lose a little bit of light coming in, yes. I know people are going to go, oh, but Ben. But it's a great way to achieve it. Now the other thing that this does is you can sort of, if you've got a sunrise happening on the horizon, which we don't hear this morning, is where the two overlap, you can really control that light in a much better way. But it's a good trick to get a 0.3 grad, because you're going, well, how do you get 0.3? I'll explain to you again. You've got 0.6 on the bottom half of your image down here. You've got 0.9 on the top. So overall, you've got a 0.3 difference between top and bottom. It's a beautiful, beautiful location. I can't tell you how nice this location is. So I'm just going to sit here and wait for the light to hit these buildings, and then we'll get some more photos. Hey, whilst we're waiting for the sun to come up over the back there and light up these sheds, I want to give a quick shout out to another photographer in the UK. His name's Gary Goff, and if you watch him, you may have seen that he gave me a shout out recently. So I want to return the favour. I was really honoured that he picked me as photographer of the week, and so I thought, to share the love, it's all about making sure that us photography vloggers, letting you know about other photography vloggers. So head over and look at Gary Goff's channel, send him some love, make sure you hit the subscribe button and let him know that Ben sent you. Now you'll find the link to his channel in the description below. Click on it and go and see him. And like I said, tell him Ben sent you, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy his stuff as well. Thanks, Gary, for picking me as photographer of the week. This week, you're my photographer of the week, although I don't do photographer of the week. Just to finalise things off, Gary didn't like my hat, but there you go, Gary. There's the hat. I don't know why you didn't like my hat. I love my hat. It's become my trademark, isn't it? Anyway, there you go. Go over and hit subscribe on Gary's channel. So I've just really quickly switched over to the tilt shift lens. I'm just getting a really nice focus. I zoom. What I do with the focus sometimes, but because it's manual focus, this lens, is I use the zoom button on the live preview and then just hand zoom, just hand focus, or manually focus is I think what they call it. Hand focus. There they go. I've taken a few with the ultra wide angle, and I'm going to whack that back on shortly, especially once the sun gets a bit harsher. But as this sun comes up now, I can see the beautiful colour starting to hit the jetty. So I go into the middle, it's on aperture priority, and I take a reading. And at let me go to F10, it's 1/13 of a second at F10. So now what I do is I go to manual, and now what I can do is I can do the same thing, leave it at F10, go to 1/13 of a second, and I know that that's going to be my correct exposure. So now I can shift to the left, take a shot. I'm going to shift to the middle. And it's got like an indent, you can feel when it gets there. Take another shot. Once it's done, we'll shift it then all the way to the right and take another shot. And that's our pano, that's our 3 images that we'll stitch together. Now typically I like a longer exposure than that when I'm doing water. These waves though aren't real big, so what happens when you take a photo, as the wave rolls, you get the wave relatively sharp at these faster shutter speeds. And then you take the second image, well, the wave's at a different point. And then you take the third, it's at a different point. And when you put it into Photoshop, when you stitch them together, it looks all weird. But when they're just very baby little waves, you can actually get away with it because they're all these little waves are crashing in pretty much the same spot. Makes it really easy, so it's not such a big deal. But that's a real trap. I've been caught in that trap myself before, where I've tried to do a pano, taken my 3 shots, taken it home, and then the waves just look terrible. So if you are doing a pano of the ocean with big waves, make sure your shutter speed's at least a second, if not 2 seconds, and that way you can ensure that you can blend it together nicely. Nothing brilliant, but as I said at the beginning of the video, I have come a long way to be here and tick this off my bucket list, so I'm shooting it. I love it anyway, you know I love it. I'm out here just enjoying myself. So, and having a jetty addiction, my God, you couldn't be in a better place. The longest wooden jelly. My God, I can't even talk this morning. Longest wooden jelly. Oh. I'm not even going to cut these out, these bloopers. The longest wooden jetty in Australia. It's 1.8 kilometres long. Oh, look at this light. All right, we better take another shot, stop talking, and get another pano. These are going to be great. I really wanted a pano of this for a canvas from my house. So I'm going to switch lenses now, and we'll try the 14-24 back out. So the good thing about I've got my bag set up in such a way so that I'm protected from the sand, and I can just switch lenses easily. I can switch lenses nice and easily. Put the ultra wide angle on. Go back to that one for a tick. Oh, that light is about to get really nice. Oh, I love it. Just love it. All right, I'm going to keep taking some shots. There's not much to tell you about composition. It's a jetty, and I'm shooting the whole width of the jetty, and that's it. Like really, playing it at different settings. I'm at f10 right now. As that light comes up now, 1/4 of a second, I'm just not going to get a slow shutter speed anymore without putting the big stopper on. The sun's up now. That's pretty much it for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. It's been a bit of fun, and I am so stoked to be here at Busselton Jetty. I think you can probably tell that. I love my jetties. You know I love my jetties. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're brand new here, hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on a video as I upload them. Hit the little notification bell as well. That way YouTube will let you know when these new videos go up. On a final note, I want to say a big thank you to all the Patreons. You can go to patreon.com/on3legs, that's with the number 3, and you can check out what bonuses you get or what rewards you get for supporting the channel. But I'm just really appreciative. Till next time, go out and take some photos.